Alright, according to this, we are going, just a moment. Let's see here. Hopefully they'll be able to hear you. Okay, boy, that dark. Alright, according to this, we are going, just a moment. Okay, hold on. That is real. I moved the lamp back. I don't know where my ring light is on the tripod. And it's driving me a little nuts because when I had to clean in here, I moved everything. And I can't remember what I... Okay, can you hear me? Hello?
Hi, George. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, you're going to have to speak up because the iPad is about 3 feet from the camera. So we're calling you on the iPad.
No problem.
Well, that's about the best we're going to get, I guess. All right, let me move. I can't move. I can move the camera over a little bit. That might help. All right, this is George Senda, the real, official, authentic, original, the one, the only, the official, the guy from Pittsburgh. Except no cheesy Viking fans who drink out of their helmet horns. Dallas Cowboys fans. Or Steelers coaches who fall asleep at the sidelines. And here tonight we have, it's been a long time, the famous Jeremy Nojoy in the frozen tundra that is... Minneapolis. How you doing, Jeremy?
Hey, George. Great to be back. Great to be back. It's been far too long since we did a video like this. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well as well, my friend.
Well, I'm recovering from a fall last week at the Safeway. I finally got to see what I fell on. I thought I fell on a ledge. I fell on the sidewalk. So I injured my knees and my shoulders, and they x-rayed my shoulder. Nothing's broken, but it's going to take time to heal. I'm going to go in next month and ask my regular doctor, it's time to get me an electric scooter. I don't know how many falls I have left in me before I fall. A friend of mine saw me walking home in the rain pushing a shopping cart. He picked me up with his truck, and he said, you're going to fall down one day and not be able to get up at all, and then you're really going to be screwed. So... Okay, I only know of 3 teams. If there are more, I'm not aware of them. I know the Raiders won. For some reason, Steelers fans sent money to charity in Las Vegas, which is odd. I know the Niners won and the Steelers won with Mike Tomlin snoring on the sidelines. I've been snoring for years with Mike Tomlin's coaching. And with him putting in Ben when he shouldn't have been playing. And Ben's gotten fatter than I am. He's starting to look like a Macy's Thanksgiving Day balloon. I don't know what's with that. You make all that money, you're fatter than I am. I'm fat because I fell and I've injured my kneecap. I gained a ton of weight. If I had his kind of money, I'd be thin. How can you be that fat when you're making millions? I don't get it. What's he doing? Going down to Primanti's and just having like four coleslaw sandwiches with corned beef a day? And knocking back the Iron City?
Beer, George.
Huh?
I think Big Ben likes his beer, George.
I think so. He's knocking down that Iron City or the New Duquesne if it's still around, or maybe Rolling Rock, or maybe some of them imported beers from Germany, you know? Maybe
he's not drinking light beer, that's for
sure. No icy light for him. I saw a picture of him. I was shocked, though. I said, my God, he looks huge. Let's start throwing darts at him instead of receivers.
I think this is his last hurrah, George.
Yeah, well, you know,
time you're going to see Big Ben.
I get all these news stories about the Steelers. I forward them to everybody, and I'm going like, so we will see, but I don't know if he's going to go all the way, because he gets injured so damn easily anymore. But, you know, if he did go all the way and the Steelers won the Super Bowl, it would be a miracle. And then the other thing is they're talking about moving it from L.A. because of the Omicron. We keep hearing different stories. Omicron's no worse than a cold, and yet all these people that are unvaccinated are getting Omicron. Las Vegas is getting cases. Every time I look at the Las Vegas Review-Journal, more and more cases. Oh, and inflation hit 7%, which means it's really about 12% if you take gasoline and food into it. And California's inflation rate is going crazy. Our governor, whom they should have never kept in office, I'm going to suspend the gas tax payment due in July. Oh, whoopee. You know, that's gonna help a whole hell of a lot. So anyway, how are the this is not football related, but are you having empty shelves as people are reporting all over the country where you are?
Yeah, there's some of that starting to form up here in Minnesota. George, went to the supermarket the other day, and yeah, there was a lot of stuff that was just sold out. Supply chain issues, I think, labor issues, all of these things are leading to empty shelves. And it's funny, I'm in the corrugated industry, right? And we had a funny little joke that we should be printing out corrugated cards, printed with food products on them to make it appear as if the shelves are not empty when really they are.
Well, they've had this new law the voters passed here to give the chickens and the eggs cage-free. They keep giving coupons at Safeway, $3.99 for eggs. There's no eggs.
Yep.
Where the hell? I made a joke. The cashier didn't get my sense of humor. I said, I see the cage-free eggs escaped. Second time I've gone in the Safeway, there's no eggs. They got eggs for $5.99. They said, well, I didn't have enough money. The cashier said, I'll give you the eggs for $3.99. Yeah, but I don't have enough money in my food stamps. I went out with Patty. She bought me food on her food stamps. The grocery outlet. A grocery outlet is weird. They have eggs there's no empty shelves at grocery outlet, and that's like a bargain place where they get overstock. They had milk, eggs, butter, meat, everything. No bread, weird cereal, Frosted Flakes mixed in with Apple Jacks. Strange stuff. Oh yeah, and General Foods, General Mills, Kellogg's. They're paying their CEOs millions. They're paying their executive millions, and they're raising their prices 20%. Elizabeth Warren's railing against that and against the supermarkets. Well, they can't stop price hikes because your gasoline prices are going up. We got 90 ships off Long Beach that are sitting there. I'll tell you one thing: whether you're Republican or Democrat, if we had Trump in there, they wouldn't be sitting there. He'd be like Patton moving the tanks in the movie. He'd say, let's get these things in there and get them unloaded. Biden can't unload his brain. Okay, let's get started. Who's playing in the playoffs?
All right, so the first game we have, George, is this is the wild card round. So we'll go with the Saturday game. First one is the Las Vegas Raiders at the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Bengals are no longer the Bungles. They're a force to be reckoned with. Okay, who do you think's going to win?
There's a lot to like about the Bengals, right? Joe Burrow put together an MVP year. He looked great. He's got a really high-powered offense. I got a feeling it's the Raiders, though. George, I'm going to take the Raiders. I think their defensive line is really good, and I think Derek Carr is criminally underrated. He's actually put together quietly a great season, and I think the Raiders get the upset. But this will be the hardest game for them.
The Raiders are usually full of criminals. Didn't they have some guy who was doing something in his car outside the game? Some NFL players. We don't go a season with some NFL players and get arrested for something. I don't get it. I was a center in football and a catcher in baseball. Was scouted as a child by the Washington Center. When you get old enough, get a hold of us. I was a good defensive catcher, but I would have killed to play in Major League sports.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, it's a huge privilege.
Wouldn't have screwed it up either. I think the Raiders win because they're in a new stadium. They got something to prove, and they're hungry. So, I don't know how much by. What do you think? What you have any idea what the spread is? Because I can't look it up right now.
I don't. What I'm looking at right now does not show the spread, but I will tell you right now the Bengals are definitely favored.
Okay.
Everybody is underrating the Raiders.
Yeah, well, I think the Raiders. I'll give the Raiders. I think they'll win by 7 points. That's just my gut feeling.
I think that's fair. I think it'll be a great game to watch, though. Like that one kind of must be if you're a fan of football. Yeah,
that's one problem. Don't have any money to go to the bar, and I don't drink, so I don't have cable. So my radio died, so I can't listen to Westwood One anymore. I guess maybe I could find it on iHeart. I don't know. Okay, who's next?
Next up, this is the evening game. We have the New England Patriots at the Buffalo Bills. What you got?
Well, I got a Top Cat, my buddy in Boston. Of course, he's a big Patriots fan. I'm shocked that Buffalo is doing anything because for years Buffalo was terrible. So what's your opinion?
I think the Buffalo Bills win this game pretty handily, actually. Patriots are rolling out a rookie quarterback in Mac Jones. In the games that they've won, they've been able to run the ball really well, and they've been able to play defense really well. Now, Bill Belichick, Hall of Fame coach, legendary coach, but I think the Bills' offense is too motivated, and I think they're too high-powered. And quite frankly, I think Josh Allen, he's one of the best three players in the NFL. He's a true X factor, and I don't think they lose in the wild card round this year. I think the Bills are going further. I'm taking the Bills by 10.
Well, I will take the Patriots for the sake of my buddy Top Cat and his beautiful cats. And hello, Bellamy the cat. I have now 3 cats that watch my videos and a dog. So I'm very big in animal watching YouTube. All right. Who's next?
All right. Next up, George, we have your favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Boo! The Eagles.
They're traveling to Tampa Bay to take on Tom Brady and the Buccaneers.
Oh, that should be fun. Where did Tom Brady? Yeah, he went to Tampa Bay. I didn't know where he went to because I don't follow Tom Brady, but I wondered where he went to. In a bar in Sarasota or something. Now. Yeah. Well, it shows how long I've looked at the NFL with all the medical issues I've had. But that should be interesting. Yeah,
I mean, keep in mind the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl last year, right? So yeah. Tom Brady defying father time, right? The guy has another, MVP season he put together. I think he threw for over 40 touchdown passes, something like 4,500 yards. I mean, the guy hasn't missed a beat. The one thing to watch out with the Buccaneers is, some of their guys are coming back from injury, but they did lose a few significant players, including Antonio Brown, who... Yeah, he walked. He took off his jersey, took off his shirt, and he walked off the field. So he won't be playing again. And then Chris Godwin, their stud wide receiver, he tore his ACL. So,
it's stupid with Brown because he had a whole bunch of bonuses there that he blew. That's one thing I did read. I don't understand that guy. I think he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs without the Cocoa Puffs.
I think he's a walking example of CTE, right? Too many hits to the head, his brain mesh is loosening, and he just has these spells of psychosis.
Yeah, I don't know what the problem is. I don't want to see anybody. We've had players that wound up dying eventually because of concussions in the NFL, and it's sad.
Like
but
Mike Webster. Webster was a big one.
But and I've had enough where I've hit my head over the years. That might be why I can remember what I did in 1962, but I have to keep asking Alexa what day it is. I lose track of days anymore. I think it's Saturday when it's Sunday and all of that because I sleep weird hours. So what do you think the spread will be on that one?
I think the Buccaneers are heavily favored. I can guarantee it. And there's no reason why they shouldn't win this one by 10 to 14. The Eagles are kind of just barely squeaked into the playoff. Jalen Hurts is a running quarterback. The Buccaneers have a stout defense against the run. I just don't see how the Eagles keep up with the Buccaneers' firepower. I'll take the Buccaneers by 10.
Yeah, well, my Pittsburgh blood in me, I can't pick the Eagles for anything except to go out of business. So I'd have to take Tampa myself. The idea of the Eagles doing anything other than sitting on the sidelines watching the game because they didn't make it. Yeah, okay, I agree with you. I will do more following after this in the next couple of days. I got a doctor's appointment in San Francisco. Always fun. Wears me out. Hearing test, except they're talking about Omicron. You may not be able to do in-person visits. Well, how do you do a hearing test over Zoom?
That's a valid question, George.
Yeah, stick the Q-tip in my ear through electronically. Okay, what's next?
Next up, we have another one of your favorite teams, the 49ers.
Yeah, the 49ers with their 60. No, they may have raised it, When Kat and I bought a car a couple of years ago, we took back in one day because it wouldn't start. We walked from Amtrak to the bus in Santa Clara, and the parking at the 49ers Stadium is $60. Which is another reason why I wouldn't go to a 49ers game. If I had a car, I'm not going to pay $60 to park my car. That's insane. Okay, what do you think? Who's playing?
Yeah, so it's the 49ers at the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh my God!
The Sunday.
The other team I hate, the Dallas Cowgirls. Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna be hate watching this one, baby.
Well, I don't hate the 49ers. I just get tired of all the drama with when they had Kaepernick, So
yeah,
that weirdo. Sure. The other guy makes millions and hates America. So
yeah, he sure does. So my opinion on this one is the Cowboys are at home. The Cowboys have a high-flying offense. They've been weird this year. Like, they haven't quite figured it out. Something isn't clicking. Like, Dak Prescott spends a few weeks off because he gets injured, and then they just haven't been the same. But, I mean, they hung, like, some 50 points a week or two ago because their defense was getting more involved. And I think their defense is a little underrated. I don't love the Cowboys, but I just don't see how the Cowboys lose this. They could, sure, but the 49ers, they kind of bring like a trickery running style offense to the table, and the Cowboys just throw the ball all over the field. I think the Cowboys, but it's more of a close game, George. I think it'll be like maybe a 3 to 7 point victory for the Cowboys.
Well, it's a pity for Bay Area fans who couldn't have been here. They know they would love that. They really root for their 49ers. I also feel sorry for the people of Oakland that don't have a team anymore. It's, there's now talk of building an A's stadium in Las Vegas. So that's kind of sad. But all right, is that it?
No, we got 2 more games yet. So
oh my God.
Here,
okay. Go ahead.
All right, so next up is your beloved Pittsburgh Steelers at the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh boy,
the Sunday night game.
Oh boy, tough thing here because I picked Kansas City 3 years in a row to go all the way, and they did. So, all right, what's your opinion? Last call for alcohol for Big Ben, or?
Yeah, I mean. So the one redeeming thing about the Steelers, or the couple redeeming things about the Steelers, you're right. Big Ben is shot. His arm just isn't what it used to be. He had that weird ligament surgery in his arm, and I think
I wish I had surgery in my arm. I've torn my rotator cuff twice.
His power's gone. His throwing power's gone. He's still a smart, cerebral quarterback. He doesn't have the pocket presence he used to. I can see why he's retiring, quite frankly. But the Steelers run the ball really well. They got Najee Harris. He was their first-round pick. He's a stud running back. Fantasy football guys, draft him. He's going to be a beast for as long as he's in Pittsburgh, most likely. And they got Deontay Johnson on the outside, who's a high-volume, very...
What happened to that young quarterback they replaced Ben with for a while? Is he still there, or did he disappear?
Mason Rudolph?
Yeah.
His name was Mason Rudolph. He got hit in the head. We got his helmet taken off of him and hit over the head by Myles Garrett in a game. And Myles Garrett got suspended for the entire season for that. But he's still there. He's just not very good.
I wouldn't have suspended him for season. I would have suspended the bum for life. But that's me. You don't do that.
It was a crazy thing to watch on live TV. We'll just put it that way.
Okay, who do you think?
Defense is good, George, but I don't think they can keep up with the Chiefs. I don't think the Steelers really stand a chance. They're traveling to Kansas City. Pat Mahomes, high-flying offense. They're going to put up a lot of touchdowns. And Steelers win games, 21-17 or 24-14. Steelers win low-scoring games. The Chiefs aren't going to give them a low-scoring game.
Yeah, and the other thing, Steelers, when they got a chance to win, don't, or this has been a weird season for the Steelers due to the scores. So I would have to pick the Chiefs too. Of course, my heart will pick the Steelers, but I don't think it's going to happen.
You're being realistic, George.
I think Fuzzy Cat might play better than Big Ben.
And then our last game of the wild card round here, George, we got the Monday night showdown. Arizona Cardinals visiting the LA Rams.
Oh boy. How'd either one of them get in the playoffs? Usually they stink, both of them. Anyway, what do you think?
Yeah, so to me, if you review this whole slate of games, right, all 6 games that we just covered, I think this one's probably the most intriguing. I think these teams are the most even as far as skill goes. I don't know what's been going on with the Cardinals. They've been losing a lot lately. Remember, they started the season like 11-0, right? They went 11 wins straight. They were the best, like undisputed best team in the NFL by record and statistics. But then they just kind of fell off the face of a cliff. Kyler Murray got hurt. Kyler Murray came back, but wasn't really himself. DeAndre Hopkins got shut down. So they've lost a few key players. And I think it really prevents them from doing what they want to on offense. So therefore, I have to give the edge to the Rams, but it's not much. Rams, again, explosive offense. Cooper Kupp, he wins the Triple Crown in receiving. That hasn't been done in a long time. That's an impressive feat. And they got Matt Stafford. I mean, I know as a Vikings fan, he used to play quarterback for the Lions. Matt Stafford is a gamer. He's a really good quarterback. Yeah, he throws some dumb interceptions sometimes, but he's an experienced quarterback that knows what he's doing with the ball. And he throws for 300-plus yards nearly every game. The Rams are just going to pass it. And then I believe they got Cam Akers coming back. He's got a game under his belt now. I see this one as an absolute shootout, George, and I think the Rams prevail probably by 3. I mean, it's going to be a back-and-forth affair. Must-watch TV, if you ask me.
Nothing to do with the playoffs, but what was the weirdness with the Chargers where their owner came on the field and they blamed him for their loss in overtime, and if the one team had won, the Steelers wouldn't have made the playoffs? That struck me as very bizarre.
So that was last week. That was Chargers-Raiders.
Yeah.
Right? And essentially, so the way the playoffs shook out is if the Chargers and Raiders, when they played their game Sunday night, if they would have tied, then the Steelers would have been out of the playoffs, and both the Chargers and Raiders would have made the playoffs. Okay? Otherwise, it was whoever won the game. So there was a and they actually were tied. They went to overtime in the game. Right? And there was a controversial timeout called by their head coach, and I don't really know. I didn't really pay too close attention to what happened with all that. But the coach, burned a timeout, and it allowed the Raiders to just kick a field goal and win it.
Yeah, but there was something weird about their owner coming down the field, and there was a lot of flack about the owner. That's what struck me as odd,
Yeah, I'd have to look more into what exactly happened, but just know that it's the first time in recent memory, at least for me, that two teams could have essentially played each other, pre-agreed to tie the game, and just tied, and then they would have both made the playoffs. It would have been lower risk for both teams. Instead, they played the game. They even went to overtime, and the Raiders kicked the field goal with the ex-Vikings kicker, Daniel Carlson, and won the game. It was actually a really exciting game to watch.
All right, well, I've missed doing this. It weren't my health issues. We've been doing this all season, but next season we got to do that. All right, I'm going to let you go. I know you got to go out and go to work in the morning making fake pictures of apples and milk and eggs that aren't there and chickens that are running through the store, Minneapolis chickens are not coming home to roost. They're all cage-free and roaming the streets. So, and now they don't even have chickens. You go to KFC, now they got plant-based KFC with a green bucket.
Yeah, stay away from that stuff, people. Eat real meat. Eat real meat. It's good for you.
So, all right, I'm going to cut this off, and we'll talk privately. You have a great night. By the way, no snow up there, any of that stuff, right?
Nope. There's snow on the ground, but it hasn't snowed for the past few days. It's been pretty darn cold, but it's
They're
kinda
freezing
warmed up.
in New York City, New York State. I posted weather videos on the guy from Pittsburgh Paranormal News Forum, and wind chill as much as the last couple of days, 18 below in some spots around New York City, and Boston is cold too. And Top Cat is probably rubbing 2 boxes of Fruit Loops together to stay warm. All right, I'm going to let you go. Have a great night. This is George Sender, the guy from Pittsburgh, and the great Jeremy Nojoy. And let me shut this off as soon as I find the software. I got to move this thing. And I need to win the lotto so I can buy like 100K, 8K set on the wall so I can see what I'm doing. Where the heck is the... Oh, that's the wrong window. That's YouTube. Hold on. Okay, that's it for this one. This is George Sender, the guy from Pittsburgh. Say goodbye, Jeremy.